Hi guys, it's Miss Sai, and today we're going to do a little review of all of the things that we have learned this week during reading. When you're finished, you're going to go on to Canvas and you are going to do your Friday reading assignment. And if you have any trouble, you can hop on the Google Meets. But I think that if you watch this video, you're going to do a really good job. Your assignment is actually a quiz. So the only thing that I can help you with is actually getting to it, not taking the quiz. Please be sure that you don't get any extra help on the quiz when you take it, okay, just like you're in class. All right, so this week we have been talking about weather and poetry or poems. So we are going to review all of the different characteristics or parts of a poem. And then we're going to talk about some other things that are also going to be on your quiz. So, what I'd like for you to do is press pause and read this poem, and then come back to me and I'll move on to the next slide. All right, so you read the poem Snowy Day. There are lots of different things that we can identify in poems, and one of them are the lines in poems. So the lines are all of the different sentences or parts of sentences that we see when we are reading a poem. For example, if I look at Snowy Day, here is ah, here is one line of the poem. Snow, snow, snow. Here is another line in the poem. Here is another line. And here is another line. I'd like for you to press pause and count how many lines are in the poem. And then press play and let's see if we get the same number of lines. All right, welcome back. Hopefully you saw that there are 9 lines in the poem. There are 9 lines. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the lines on the bottom are a little longer than the lines in the first 2 stanzas. Speaking of stanzas, let's take a look at what a stanza is. If you remember from class, a stanza is a group of lines in a poem similar to a paragraph that we write in writing. So if I take a look at this poem, I can see that here is a stanza. All of the lines are close together and then there's a break. Here is a stanza. And here is the last stanza. So if I were going to label these stanzas 1, 2, 3, you would be able to tell me how many stanzas are in the poem Snow Day. And you would be able to tell me that there are 3 stanzas in the poem Snow Day. One other thing that we have been talking about for a while this year is point of view. If you remember, when we're talking about point of view, we're talking about who wrote the poem. If a story is written in first person point of view, we are going to find words in the poem like I, my, and me. However, if we're talking about third person point of view, we're going to see words like he, she, and they. When we talk about point of view, we're talking about the way that a person sees things. For example, you might really love the snow. I am not a huge fan of the snow. So my point of view is I don't like the snow. I don't like the snow because I really don't like driving in it. I get very nervous. I think it's pretty, but I just don't like driving in it. So it's the first person point of view. And the reason you know that is because I used the word I. My neighbor's name is David. He loves the snow. He has this machine called a snowblower, and he will use it to easily move all the snow off the sidewalk and off his driveway. So he really likes the snow. That's his point of view. That's what he thinks of the snow. And we know that it's third point of view because I'm using the word he. I'm talking about someone else. Let's take a look at this anchor chart. The question at the bottom says, what are 3 words that let us know something is written or told from the third person point of view? So I want you to take a look at where it says third person point of view on this purple box. What 3 words let us know that it is a third person point of view? So if I was reading something and my teacher asked, is this first person point of view or third person point of view? What words would tell you that it's third person point of view? Go ahead and say those 3 words out loud. Hopefully you said he, she, and they. I'm going to have to write they over here. But Miss Sai, where did you find those? I found them right here on the book that says third person point of view. Super easy for me to find. All I have to do is look at the book and I can see the words he, she, and they. That lets me know that it's told in third person point of view. Let's take a look at the poem Snow Day again. I'm looking at the point of view and I have the poem Snow Day that you read earlier. It says, which word from the poem Snow Day tells you it is told in the first person point of view? Well, I'm going to use my poster, my anchor chart, to help me again. And they want me to look at first person point of view. So there is a word in my poem Snow Day that is also in this blue book right here on the front of this blue book. So as I go through the poem, I'm going to look and see, do I see the word I, my, or me? Go ahead and skim through the poem and see if you can find one of those words. Which one of those words lets you know that it's told in first person point of view? Hopefully you found the word I. It says, I wonder why. So it is told in first person point of view. I'd like for you to press pause and read this poem about weather. And when you're finished, come on back to me. Let's review stanzas one more time. Think in your brain or use the poster on this slide to help you remember what a stanza is. Hopefully you remembered that a stanza is a group of lines in a poem similar to a paragraph. Quickly count the stanzas and tell me how many stanzas are in the poem Weather. Hopefully you said 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And each stanza has 4 lines in it. Take a look at the word in the red box, knocking. What does the ing ending mean? Does it mean that it's already happened or it's happening right now? Say it out loud. Does the ing means it's already happened or it's happening right now? Hopefully you remember from our lesson yesterday that when we add ing to the end of a word, it means that it's happening right now or it will happen in the future. My choices were, is it already happened or is it happening right now? The ing ending lets me know that it's happening right now. Look at the word that I put in the red box. It is protected. Does the ed ending mean it has already happened or it's happening right now? Does the ed tell me it happened in the past, it already happened, or that it's happening right now? Hopefully you said that the ed means that it already happened. It happened in the past. Look at the word overflowing. Does the ing ending mean it has already happening? It has already happened or it's happening right now? Hopefully you said that the ing ending means that it's happening right now. Here we have our elements of poetry anchor chart. And on this element of poetry anchor chart, we have learned about rhythm, rhyme, describing words, visual patterns, and figurative language. Take a look at the poem Weather and say 2 words out loud that rhyme. Say 2 words out loud that rhyme. One way to find rhyming words is to look at each stanza. I'm going to take a look at this stanza right here, and I'm going to look at the last word in each line. Usually, the second and the last line rhyme. Let's see if I'm right. Rain, pain. Do those 2 words rhyme? They sure do. Let's look at stanza number 2. Let's see if I look at line 2 and line 4 of this stanza. Do the last 2 words rhyme? Roar, door. Do they rhyme? Yes, they do. Let's take a look at describing words. If you remember, describing words tell how things in a poem might look or sound, feel, smell, or taste. The author puts describing words in poems to help us get pictures in our mind of what they are writing. Remember, poems are a form of art, so they can express their language through writing, but it's really like artwork. So read weather and come up with 3 describing words, how something might look, sound, feel, smell, or taste. In the very first line, I found a word that tells me what something is going to sound like. The clatter of thunder. Clatter is a sound, so it is telling me how something might sound. In the second stanza, I see that it tells me what something is going to look like. Dark, craggy clouds. Ooh, I don't like seeing those types of clouds. That usually means that there is going to be a storm. And then in the last stanza, I see safe inside. Those describing words tell me how people will feel if they are inside when a storm is outside. Let's look at one more thing, and then you may go and do your quiz. Look at the words little tiny ice balls. What are the words being compared to? Is the author of this poem saying that little tiny ice balls are like frozen ice cream? Is the author saying that little tiny ice balls are like rain? Or is the author saying that little tiny ice balls are like frozen rain? What do you think? The correct answer is frozen rain. So hopefully you got that right. It is time for you to stop and go and take your quiz. Your quiz is on Canvas under assignments, and it will say Friday e-learning reading. You will need to take the quiz, and there are boxes on there for you to type your answer. There are 25 questions based on everything that you have learned this week. So make sure that you take that quiz. I will be grading it, and make sure that you submit it. Great week of e-learning, guys. I know that it was hard, but you were superstars, and I'm really proud of you. I'll talk with you later. Bye.